right, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Politics, Economics, and the Struggle to Survive in America. I'm your host. My name is Jerrald President, and I'm going to continue my dissection of President Trump's speech at the United Nations, and to show you how white supremacy functions and how it works, and how, under the words and a very brilliant quote by Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. is,
if you do not understand white supremacy, which is racism, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you, only confuse you, only confuse you.
So when you listen to Donald Trump addressing the United Nations, again, another body that was created after the League of Nations dissolved, which was another I don't even have what word I want to use on. Another scheme by the Europeans to maintain control of their colonies. You have the United Nations, a construct of white supremacy. Now you have to listen to how Donald Trump talks about Iran and what's going on in Syria. And I just want you to listen to it, and then I'll come back. All right, here we go.
Every solution to the humanitarian crisis in Syria must also include a strategy to address the brutal regime that has fueled and financed it. The corrupt dictatorship in Iran. Iran's leaders sow chaos, death, and destruction. They do not respect their neighbors or borders or the sovereign rights of nations. Instead, Iran's leaders plunder the nation's resources to enrich themselves and to spread mayhem across the Middle East and far beyond.
Now, are you look at this the guy's face at the end? He's looking like, what did this motherfucker just say? Yeah, I don't like to use that, but I just had to say, his face says it all. The United States overthrew the government of Mossadegh. It was called Operation Ajax. The CIA overthrew this country's democratically elected president and installed the Shah. And he ran that country for 40 plus years just to enable the white men, the British and the United States, to be able to steal the oil and the resources, the natural resources of these people. Yeah, he's on television in front of all of the world talking about Iran is destabilizing something that's called the Middle East when it's never been called the Middle East. That's Africa. That's all part of the continent of Africa. But under white supremacy, they can make up names. They can create artificial borders and boundary lines. And they can tell you who these people are. But this guy's looking, he's like, did this guy just sit up here and say what he said? Wait a minute, if I'm correct, it was under the President Obama who destabilized and started this war in in Syria. It was after they overthrew the government of Libya. And I'm not making this up. I want you to look at the document. Just look at what the document says. The United States took the people that was training out of Afghanistan, dropped them over in Libya. They overthrew the government of Libya, murdered its leader. Whether you're a fan or not of Gaddafi, he was murdered. He was murdered. He was assassinated by people who was funded and sponsored by the United States government, the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. And then he was picked up and he was dropped off in Syria. And they were armed by the United States government. Look what it says. I'm not going to make these things up. Always remember this on the Politics, Economics, and the Struggle to Survive in America. I'm not here to give you an opinion. I'm going to give you the documents. And I want you to understand something. Living in America, they don't hide anything. These documents was published. They knew what they was doing from day one. But he's on television talking about Iran is doing all this. And here I am in the country. People don't know what it's like to have bombs dropped on your head. We've destroyed ancient civilizations all throughout the Middle East. You have to understand something. This is a continuation of the doctrine of discovery. This is a continuation of Christians, white European Christians, thinking that they can tell other people how to live and how to conduct themselves. I'm sorry, I don't even want to use that word Christian because these people are not Christians. That's something that they just made up to call themselves, to say they're benevolent. And they have the nerve to say they're doing it in the name of their Jehovah, their Yahweh. It is criminal that President Trump can get up there in front of the world and pontificate about BS. But that man, the emissary from Iran, is brilliant, and it's beautiful to sit there and watch how he's just sitting there saying, are you serious? This guy just say, did he just say that? That's how gangster America is. I live in a gangster country. I'm a product of that gangsterism. That's why I wear this shirt proudly, because I know what they did to my ancestors. I know what they did to the native and the indigenous people all on the Western Hemisphere. They don't exist anymore. They're on reservations. And the people in the northern part of Africa, if they're not conscious and paying attention, they're going to be a footnote in the history books. Because these European white men, and under the guise of white supremacy, they're not going to exist further. And if they don't stop playing with that Quran and linking up with one another and realizing who is the real enemy, they won't exist anymore. You can't make deals with people who don't believe that you should be even considered part of the human family. That's just a little brief one. You know, Mr. Trump provides a lot of fodder, but Mr. Trump is just in a continuation of a long line of European presidents, white men, telling the world how to conduct themselves. And they don't care about the rest of white people on this planet. You think they care about the Europeans? The Europeans consider peasants to these people. They don't see the Europeans. These people in these sovereign cities globally, London, Washington, D.C., the Vatican, they're immune to what's going on. But the citizens are going to be suffering. The people in Romania, Estonia, Bulgaria, Frankfurt, all of these cities, they're the ones who are going to suffer, because eventually chickens will come home to roost. Once again, this is Politics, Economics, the Struggle to Survive in America. And I just wanted to leave you with that. Peace.